On this week's Faster Than the World podcast with Fritz and Jake, we cover all the live matches from Columbus, Ohio at the Arnold Sports Festival. This week's NXT Faster Than the World podcast. Ready? Here we go.
Hello again, and welcome to this week's Faster Than the World podcast. I am Fritz. Oh, I'm Jake, actually. I can't believe that.
Are we switching places this week? Am I the amazing Jake?
Yeah, I got a mask on, actually. This is amazing. This is wild. This is weird.
That's good. I'm glad you covered up.
I guess I have done, watched a bunch of wrestling today. I might be just all crazy and jacked. We did just get done with the Columbus, Ohio edition, Arnold Sports Festival edition of NXT. I was really looking forward to it. It didn't really pan out the way I wanted it to.
I too had high hopes. I understand where you're coming from. There was high expectations for a live NXT show. It kind of, the way they built it up, it kind of implied it was going to have a takeover kind of feel to it. It really did not live up to that. For me personally, a lot of prefab video packages.
Exactly, a lot
into the wrestling for me.
You did not have to sell us on a product we were already watching. We were already watching NXT. You didn't have to tell us how good it was. I feel like this is something you should show on Raw, not on the actual show of NXT. It took away from the matches. I think we got about like 20 minutes max of an hour show of wrestling, when normally we get about 40 minutes of wrestling, which should be the opposite at a new live spot.
Yeah, and I think on an hour-long show, I don't want a video package building up to the main event for tonight, and then later in the show, another video package building up to next week's main event. One or the other. I'm already watching this show. I know what the main event is.
Yeah,
like you were saying.
You kind of gave away the ending, even though it was people were kind of expecting Owens' victory there. But
yeah, enough bitching. On to the wrestling.
Yeah, we go on to the first match. Kalisto comes out to a big ovation versus Tyler Breeze, who comes out to a noticeable big ovation. I thought this match was great. This was a great way to kick off the show.
Solid kickoff. But Kalisto comes out hot, hitting a lot of flashy offense on Tyler. Took control. Tyler eventually rolled out of the ring. Looked into the camera and said, "You trying to embarrass me, Kalisto?" Went back in, took over immediately.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. Good back and forth there. Kalisto always has some great high flying, but
Tyler Breeze also can hold his own with a little bit of flashy offense here and there.
Oh yeah,
hitting some really good spots together.
Yeah, my spot of note was definitely the a walking handstand spot. Tyler Breeze pops back up into a head scissors takedown, and then at the end of the day, Tyler Breeze does win with a beauty shot though.
Yep.
And then they're building the main event as discussed, and then we go to a Bliss promo. I guess comparable to Kelly, better than a Bella promo, if we're going to compare her to divas of her stature.
I'm not going to grade her on a diva scale. I'm going to grade her on a straight wrestling promo scale. I'm going to give her a straight C. She didn't fumble over her words, but they were not inspiring. They were not catchy. They were adequate.
She's working.
So,
she's working on it.
Yep, C.
And then we go to a vignette of the festival.
Big video package just celebrating the Arnold Festival.
Hogan was there, Triple H was there,
Flair, Jimmy Hart, so they got all those guys on camera.
Yeah, and then they go to a backstage where Alex Riley is talking to Finn Balor. They're kind of just putting over how they don't like Owens, and they're ready to face him.
Yeah, another video segment that was not wrestling that was putting over, again, this week's main event and an upcoming show.
And then after that, we go back to a vignette talking more about the festival, more about
live. Yeah. Actually, the second video package was about the live show they had separate from the Arnold Sports Center. But just again showing NXT's on the road. But again, we knew they were on the road. They told us that over and over again.
Yeah, and then we go to a singles match. Blake and Big Cass.
A singles match featuring the rare tag team opponents.
So this is going to be good. We don't really get, we know Big Cass is the better worker of the two, which is weird for a smaller guy, bigger guy.
Yeah, for the big guy to be the workhorse, yeah.
But that's pretty good. They come out, they're super over, probably more over than I would say anyone in the main event or anyone than Tyler Breeze and Kalisto in the opener. Enzo, Big Cass, and Carmella, they do their whole spiel. Everyone loves it.
Yeah, everybody, the entire crowd each time, they're super into it, and they're working on it more and more, so that they're getting the whole triangle into the routine, making it a little smoother, which I like. And as you said, Cass is definitely the workhorse, and as I've said repeatedly, everything Enzo does that's not him in the ring, straight money. That guy is amazing.
The match was solid. It built to this big spot where Murphy jumps on the ring, so that makes Carmella jump on the ring. Big Cass hits Murphy with the super kick for then Blake to come and...
that was a big boot. That was not the super kick. That's Kevin Nash running big boot.
Yeah, okay. Well, okay. And then Blake comes up behind Big Cass, pushes off the ropes, that then knocks Carmella off into a roll-up for Blake to take the victory and get a little heat by knocking Carmella off the apron there.
And I assume during this whole segment that Enzo was checking his hair or something. I don't know how he completely missed this whole scenario, but he wasn't involved in the finish, but that's okay.
Yeah, checking the hair, brushing the goatee. I'm sure he's busy with all that.
Yeah. So Blake wins with the roll-up.
Mm-hmm. And then we go into the Divas match, Alexa Bliss versus The Boss, Sasha Banks. I thought this match really didn't get going. Sasha Bliss misses her Bliss flip for the second week in a row. It looks real bad. She lands on her feet instead of landing in a splash.
Yeah, it was a standing moonsault that she did, that she just basically did a standing backflip.
Yeah.
And then kind of laid on Banks. It's very strange.
Second week in a row, the same poor-looking flip. But she takes the victory with a 10 count, knocks the Boss out the ring and then Bliss wins in her hometown. Gets
a win in her hometown over the NXT Women's Champion, strangely enough, by countout. It's very odd. Yeah. We also got a sneak peek at a new diva coming into the NXT ranks, Dana Brooke. They showed a little video package of her, I guess, competing at various fitness competition, and then her in the ring. There's another diva coming. Not much more to say to her about her other than that.
Yeah, then we go to an Owens promo. It's pretty solid. His promos are always not great, but always good. And then we go to another Bliss promo where Sasha kind of interrupts and Regal kind of breaks them up a little bit, and we'll get more into that later.
Yeah. Bliss basically celebrating, saying, she beat the champ, and Sasha coming in, being the boss, going, look, you didn't pin me.
Oh, yeah.
Don't go around bragging to anybody like you did something. And then Regal stepping in like the man that he is. And we'll talk about what he set up later. Yeah.
Now we're going into the main event. Alex Riley comes out completely jacked. I'm glad
to a dead crowd.
Yeah,
he was jacked. Nobody else was.
No, there was the one Stone Cold fan jumping up, clapping, holding the number one sign. You have one fan in Ohio, Alex Riley, and it is that guy with the Stone Cold T-shirt.
Might have been his brother.
Yeah, and then Kevin Owens comes out to a big ovation. I guess a lot of indie fans remember him from his days in Ring of Honor, PWG, and whatnot.
The crowd was definitely into him. They were behind him. It was very strange for the definite heel champ to come out and the face to get no reaction at all. And the crowd being completely behind Owens, who's working hard to be a heel. But
commentary even had to make mention of it. It was that noticeable.
Yeah. Commentary this week provided by Jason Albert, Corey Graves, and Rich Brennan. And Graves acknowledging that the crowd was behind him.
It was pretty much a basic Owens match. He hits the big roll on him, and then he misses a big roll on him to go outside, and then he uses there was a weird staging setup with some fencing right on the front row there because it was set up in kind of a smaller setting. Owens uses that to kind of take out Riley, and he's attacking Riley after the match. Owens wins, and Baylor comes out to kind of stop him, save the onslaught.
There was a little bit of a pause, and then Owens started to go after Riley. Balor's music cues. Out he comes. The two of them start to brawl. And that's the end of the show for this week. For this week's NXT. Jake, I just got the signal from the ref. It's time to go to the finish. So on this week's show, we got to see 4 big matches. We got to see all the title holders in action this week. What was your favorite spot of the week?
I would definitely say my favorite spot was the handstand walking into a head scissors takeout that Kalisto performed on Tyler Breeze in the opening match. I feel like that was the best match of the card by far.
Gotcha. I think that match was the strongest. I think you're right. Personally, I enjoyed the Big Cass versus Blake match because I always like seeing Cass, Enzo, and Carmella out. Anything else that you really enjoyed?
Let's see.
I know for me, I like seeing it in the new setting. I like having a different crowd out there, so we can hear the same chants that we complain about hearing over and over again. I like seeing that the more established NXT talent was able to adjust to the different ring setup, which is a big deal for them because they're used to the same setup each week. So I like seeing those guys in a different setup, seeing the challenges, see who can handle it, see who struggles.
Yeah, not that goofy of a chance. A solid chant this week of "This Guy Saw" during the Big Cass match. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, it was a new chant. I enjoyed it.
Big ups to the Ohio crowd right there. But we got a big show next week.
Yeah, next week, big show for the NXT. We got 2 title matches already announced.
We got Regal set up when Regal was there with Bliss and Sasha, kind of breaking them up. He set up a Divas title match since since Bliss beat Sasha this week at Full Sail University. I can't see Bliss winning again outside of the hometown crowd cheering her on. I think Sasha's got this one.
So you're calling Banks with a clean win?
Calling Banks with a win.
Okay. I'm calling a not a definite win because I see they're going to be feuding for a while. So I do think Banks is going to win. At least she's going to retain the title for sure. But it might be a count out. It might be a disqualification. It might be a time limit because I think they're going to have another match. And then pass next week. And the other big match was established in the big number 1 contenders tournament a few weeks ago, which was won by Finn Balor. So next week he gets his shot. Finn Balor versus Kevin Owens for the NXT title. Should be a big deal. Yeah. WrestleMania week.
Yeah, really looking forward to this match. You got probably one of the biggest indie stars in North America in the last 3 years versus one of the biggest international talent that was famous in Japan in the last few years with Finn Balor. Pretty awesome. I'm really excited. I can definitely see there being a lot of back and forth action right here. Don't mean to overhype it like I did the Arnold Sports Classic this week.
I don't think you are. I think if you're a longtime wrestling fan, there's always that next generation of guys that is making waves in New Japan and in certain indie leagues that you're always really excited to see start to make it up on the big show. And these guys are definitely part of that. And part of the excitement is you never know if they're going to make it on the big show. You never know if you're going to get that chance to see them at WrestleMania or in any kind of WWE type program. And these 2 guys are definitely part of that generation, that next group. And to see them now just getting their toes into the pool, just getting their foot just in the door, it's really exciting if you're a big wrestling fan.
Oh yeah.
So before we go, Jake, can you tell me what else is going on at PJTW Central this week?
Lots of big news. We just put up the new the official PJTW podcast. We review Raw from Iowa. We got the new Dang We Love Divas podcast. You can follow that at Sailor Lexi on Twitter. You can hit me up on JG Pro Wrestling at Twitter, and then Ellen Japanese is Peter on Twitter. We also have a PJTW Central Twitter, and PJTWCentral.com has all the podcasts you want, and we have big news coming up for Mania Week. Some guests. And
I know you're not ready to tell the fans yet, but I know you got something really big in the works. So I don't want to hype it too much for you guys, but just check in with the website. Check in at PJTW Central. Big news, big stuff happening soon. Anything else, Jake?
Not much. Hit up if you're talking to us online. Faster Than the World. So number FTW. Hit us up. Or hashtag FTW. This should be up on Thursday, kind of early this week. We're trying to get it out because the big opening show they did on the road for the Arnold Sports Classic, Faster Than the World, Can't Slow Down.
Thanks for listening.